This is James Bullock with WarriorSciences.com. Today we're going to talk about the truth about fight or flight. Something a lot of instructors talk about is the process of fight or flight. But the truth is there's more than just that. There's fight, flight, flinch, or freeze. All of those things can happen, or a combination of those things can happen when someone is presented with extreme stress, survival stress, any cataclysmic event that might be happening that they view as a catastrophic event. Everybody pretty much knows what fight or flight is. It's that biochemical response. We'll have an adrenaline bounce and things like that, and that pretty much tells us what we're going to be able to do. If we're not accustomed to that at all, people might just freeze. It's called deer in the headlight syndrome. We talk about that all the time. It's like deer comes on the road, just stares at you while you hit him with the car. So something that can happen is if all of a sudden they're presented with someone who wants to hurt them, let's say he has a knife or gun or whatever, it could be just you completely freeze and you don't do anything. This actually happens a lot to females when they're presented with a threat all of a sudden. That's something that's not good, and it can be overcome through training, some very specific training. But back to the fight or flight, flinch or freeze. The time to fight is when you really feel in danger. That's the time to fight. If you do not have an avenue of escape, that's the caveat. You need to know your surroundings enough to know if you have an avenue of escape. In the case of the flinch, you need to know what your reactions are. It's kind of like if you're getting in the top of your closet and all of a sudden a box falls, what do? Do you all of a sudden get hit in the face? Do you have slow reactions? Or is it one of the things both hands flew up? Everyone knows that a lot of drunk drivers rarely get hurt in horrible car crashes and entire families get killed. They're very relaxed because they're intoxicated. But what happens whenever we're about to get into a serious accident, our entire body locks up. Because we're cognizant. We don't want that to happen. We tighten up really hard thinking that we're bracing for impact, and the human body is not designed for such impact in cars. So it's the same kind of thing. I don't want to just, he throws a punch or something, I don't just want to stiffen up and be the deer in the headlights. See, I couldn't even help it. I had to at least touch him when he threw that punch. As far as the flight, escaping, well, if you have an avenue of escape every single time. It's not, I had a friend years ago, he had a quote I really enjoyed, and it's it's not running away from danger. It's running to the things that I love in life. It's staying alive for my son. It's staying alive for my family. Flee towards safety, not away from danger. That's something that I've always thought about. It's not about the male ego or the bravado or anything else, or being a Billy badass, because no one cares who you are and what you're capable of. The only thing I care about is getting home at night to my son. So it's something that I have no problem leaving. I have no problem de-escalating the best that I can. And if I have to, kick asphalt, run, get away from them. On the freeze, you absolutely never want to freeze, ever, under any circumstance. And if you know that's something that you do, then that's something that has to be worked on. And you want to look for a qualified instructor. Any questions that you may have on this subject or anything, you can always contact me or Jesse on this subject, and we'll be glad to answer anything.